Welcome everybody, Farm Sim Snowy here. So in this video we're going to take a look at the horses. We're going to go through placing down the pens, pastures, how to buy them, what to feed them, how to go about riding them, getting their fitness up and making a profit from them. So first of all we need to put another pen down. As you can see we've got two, but I'm going to put down a large pen over there just so you can see what that process is like. So if you don't already know, I'm on PS5 and I do believe this works on PS4. Whether it works on Xbox I'm not sure. A quick way to get into the build mode is if you hold down L1 and touch or press the touchpad in, you can get into the build mode a lot quicker like that. So like I say, as you can see we've got two pastures down, or pens, barns, whatever you want to call them. First of all we need to scroll across the top menus to animals, click on that, then come down, scroll across to horses, click on that, come down again, and as you can see we've got three options there. So like I say, this is the horse pasture. This is one slot, it will hold 5 horses, and as you can see on the right hand side that info's all there. They will eat oats, sorghum and hay, and it also has the water icon there, because if you have a pasture, and this goes across some of the other animals as well, if you have a pasture you do have to put in water. If you have one of these barns, which you'll see in a second, you do not need to worry about the water. It is plumbed in, it is automatic, so you don't have to worry. That's pretty cool if you can afford one of them. This is 55,000 to buy the pasture. Next up we've got the horse barn, which is this one I've placed down, 118,500 to buy. This is 10 slots. It's showing one there on the right because obviously we've placed this one down. This one will hold 8 horses, and as you can see the water symbol has disappeared. And then next on the list we've got horse barn large. This is 10 slots as well. That will hold 14 horses, and that is 125,000 to buy. So we're going to place one of the large ones down, so then we've got all 3 down. So if you click on it, it will bring this up. You can spin these round as you wish, like so, but I'm going to place it sort of there because I've got a couple of bells set up for a little experiment. Well, not experiment, just to show you guys. Some of the animal barns and buildings you can change the colours, but you can't on here, so we won't worry about that. So if we place that down, there we go, all done. We're back out of that menu, and now we've got a large barn placed over there, all well and good. Next up we need some horses. So there's 3 ways you can access the sort of menu or purchasing the horses. The first way, and the second way technically, because it is more or less the same thing. If we walk up to this paw icon, and again you can turn these icons off, I've left them on for the tutorial, and whilst obviously I still learn the game myself. If we walk up to this paw icon, you see the open animal dialogue comes up in the help menu, so I click L3 and it opens up this menu. We've got a list of all the different horses we can buy. They're all the same price. Now they are newborns, so they say 0 months, sorry, but it does say reproduction 10 months. Now I'll come on to that later. And then top right it says farm, and in brackets 0/5. So obviously 0 because we don't have any in there, and then the 5 is the maximum capacity for our pasture. So you can buy them from there, and as you can see in the middle down the bottom there, if you buy them this way you will get charged a delivery fee. So it's 300 per horse. So if we wanted to buy one of these horses it will cost us 800 to buy. If you do click on there you can select how many you want. This will go up to 5, so we can put 5 in at one time because that's the maximum amount. But as you can see the delivery fee has gone up to 1,500 because we've got 5. So that is one way of buying them. The other way you can buy them, which brings up that same menu, is if we go into this menu, which is where all your tractors and tools are. If we scroll down the bottom to the 3 lines, we've got our animal dealer there. So if we click on that, because we've got more than one pasture down, you can select which one you like. So if we select the horse pasture, and it brings up exactly the same menu, same process, like so. One thing I did forget to show you, if I go back up in build mode, most of the buildings and animal pens and barns, you can rename them. So if we hover over one, it will change colour, as you can see, like so. Now if I press select, it says select there up in the help menu. Gives us some info. We can sell them from this point as well, but we can also click on rename. So we could rename that to whatever we want. So you can delete that and put whatever you want, or I could just put Horse Barn 2. That will now be called Horse Barn 2 throughout its life, unless you change it. So that's pretty cool. And the third way is to get some animal transport. So I've got one of these. There is 2 horses in there, just about see them through the window. This is specific to horses, this trailer. It will hold 2. And if you go to the animal dealer, you can get these yourself, and there is no fee. So if you buy them this way, you don't have to pay any fee. But what I will say is, if you do it this way, you and you're only sort of leasing one of these, you have to start sort of weighing up the pros and cons then over, is it going to be more expensive to lease that to get a couple of horses and buy them from there? So that's all I would say. So if we jump in the pickup, I'll spin round, because most of these animal trailers you can lower the doors, etc. So if we pull up there, you see in the help menu our open dialog box icon has come up. But what I'm going to do, just for realism, although I should have probably opened the gates, is we can lower that flap, and if I hold L1 still, we can open that cover. So now if I click on the dialog box, this menu pops up. So it's saying on the top left there, Big Master Western, that's our horse trailer. So if we move across to Hercules, and if we click on Hercules, now in the middle there we've got a 1 with the plus and the minus. So I'm guessing if you had more than one type, you could select say 2 or 3 if you've got 2, and move all those 2 or 3 over in one go. But obviously we've only got 1 of each. Bottom left it says move to husbandry, so I'll press that and it just comes up, do you want to do that? Yes, we do. Okay, Hercules is now in our pasture, and it says there farm 1/5. So we repeat the process again with Zeus. It's a bit of a mythical gods going on here, isn't there? Move to animal husbandry, and that is it. What I'm going to do is fold that up, move that out of the way so it is not in our way in a minute. If we go to our pasture, we have 2 horses in there. I thought we only had 1 then, but he was hiding. Next up, we need to feed and water them. So if we now go into our main menu like this, scroll all the way down to animals, as you can see we've got all our 3 pens there, but obviously Horse Barn 2 and Horse Barn Large, we haven't got anything in there, so that will be blank like that. But in our horse pasture we've got Hercules and Zeus. Now it comes up with all the information about them. So it says age 0 months, we know that, they're newborns. Health is at 0% because we haven't fed or watered them. Cleanliness is at 100%. We'll come on to all that in a minute. Fitness is at 0%. Again, we'll cover that in a sec. And daily riding 0%. We'll cover that in a second. On the right hand side, we've got all the pen information. So conditions, water, and there's an amount there. So we obviously need to tip in some water. Then below that we've got food. Now it gives you a total bar, and then it says base food and hay. If you look very bottom of the screen, it tells you all the info you need to know about the horses. And at the bottom there it says oat/sorghum effectiveness 60%, and then underneath hay effectiveness 40%. It also says just above there, feed them a mix of the following foods for best results, provide all these types. So basically it's saying you need to put all of those in. 60 and 40 makes 100%, which is what we're aiming for. Now, the oat and sorghum, you don't have to give them one or the other. You can mix it up. So if you've put oats in and you've just harvested a sorghum field, you can top it up with a bit that you got left over or whatnot. But what I did find interesting, because I did find out a couple of interesting things while I was testing. We run over here, we've got a full trailer of oats. They don't take wheat. So if we pull up to the tipping icon, which is just here, we should have I know it's a bit overkill, this tractor and trailer. So there's our overloading. Now, if we go back into this menu, on FS19, when you tipped in oat, because we didn't have sorghum then as an option, it was just oat and hay the horses took. When you tipped in oat, if you had obviously enough in the trailer, it would fill that bar right up, and that would be maxed out, and then you'd have to move on to the hay, fill that bar right up, and then you'd be good to go. Because this has got a total, that total is for the whole pen, and it is shared between those two bars. So if I tip this oat in, I'm just going to tip as much as we can in. It will stop when it gets to the limit. There you go. I'll move the tractor out of the way. Now, if we look at this menu again, as you can see, the total for this pen is 7,000 litres. I've tipped in 7,000 litres of oats. Now, I can't put any more hay in. So really, I'm only getting 60% effectiveness now. So you need to be a little bit careful with that, because you're going to have to split between the two against the total of the pen, if that makes sense. And just out of interest, the small pasture, as we know, is 7,000 litres. The medium one was 11,500, and the large barn is 20,000 litres. So I was a little bit surprised about that. Next up, obviously, because we've got the pasture, we need some water. You've got a few options with the trailers. If we go into the store and go under tools, if we go up to animals, like so, I've got the Joskin Aquatrans, which is just solely for water, so you can use that. And then we've got these two Lizard MKS ones, which holds water and a couple of other things there, milk, liquid fertilizer and herbicide. So it's only slightly bigger, the MKS 8, and then obviously this one's even bigger, but you'll need a truck or a dolly to tow that. In terms of water, all we've got so far, because at the time of recording this, there's not really any mods out. There's a couple that dropped the other day, but nothing specific. So if we go into our build mode again, and come down under buildings across to container, come down again right to the far end, there's this water tank, which is one slot to place, 3,000 to buy, and we can place one of these down. So I'm just going to drop that there, pop that down. But if you use one of these, you will get charged for water, which is a little bit annoying. So if I pull up, I'll show you what we mean. We've got start filling come up in the help menu, so I'll start filling that. Our money is going down top right. Now, it's not a huge amount, obviously it's going to depend on how big your trailer is, but if you're on a map, and this has got it, this map, I think most maps probably will. If you've got a body of water, so say this pond here, which is just across the road from us really, or here, you can fill up from these ponds, lakes, rivers for free. So just something to note there. So I'm going to fill this trailer right up because we may need it, because I'm going to max out that large pen over there. I'm not going to put anything in the middle pen, but we will show you that in a bit more detail because there's some cool features on there. Right, so we'll fill up. Now we need to drive round and head towards our water icon, and then with a bit of luck we should get our start overloading message come up like so. They shouldn't take too much because there's only 2 of them. No, didn't think so. And there we go, that is that pen all done and dusted. So now if we go back into our animal menu, as you can see, they've got everything they need. They've got water, well, I say everything, they haven't got any hay, but they've got food. So just to show you that. Oh, also as well, I forgot to show you, if you look down the bottom of the screen, if you click on one of the animals, you can rename them. So we can get rid of Hercules and we can call him Snowy if we want. Oh, that didn't work. Yes, it did. Oh, here we go, it's swapped over. Didn't think it worked then. So that horse is now called Snowy, and if you've got your field info on, you jump in a pasture or a barn, it will tell you all about that pasture on the bottom right hand corner. It's got 2 animals in there. Their health is at 0% because it will take a time for them to get to 100%. They've got 7,000 litres of food and 1,250 litres of water. Also, if you go up to an individual animal like so, we've got Zeus there, type black it says, all their age, their health, reproduction, riding, everything. So it's pretty cool that, having that field info now. So let's have a quick look at this. This is a nice building. We can go in these doors. There's a little office here which we can go in. Now some of the animal pens have got this board here. If you come up to them it will say open door. This one doesn't, and I thought, does that mean it doesn't work? Because this does supposed to open the shutters, and I thought, is that not working? But if we actually come outside and walk up to the shutters, as you can see, help menu, open gate, press that, and that will open them shutters up, which is quite cool. Nice animations. If we move around here, we'll open this door. Same sort of idea. Your tipping's just going to be there, so your food and your straw, because these ones will need straw if we go onto the pasture. I don't know if you noticed, they don't require straw, they just need water and food, but these ones will require straw. Your dialogue box is just here, so you can buy them again like that, or back your trailer back up to it if you so wish. There's a little gate there which is pretty cool. Let's shut that. Now that's quite low, and so is that one. No, that one's outside, but that roof might be a little bit low. But I did find on this barn, keep wanting to call them pastures, I did find on this barn, even though the icon's in there, I found all the triggers out here for the straw and both the oats and hay just about here, so you can sort of do out there. So if you've got a big tractor and a trailer like I have over there, which won't fit under there, should be able to get everything there. Moving on from there, we're going to look at the large one, which is quite cool. You've got a bit of shed space here, so you can store bales, machines. There is some lights up there, but I haven't found any light switch, so maybe they come on automatically at night. So again, your feed and straw is going to be just there, and your dialogue box is round here like so. You can open those doors if you want to. You don't need to really go in there though. Like I say, no water on these ones. So what I'm going to do now is buy some horses. I'm going to max out this pen. So it doesn't matter what we get because it's just sort of a test. So we'll go for some greys, and then I can put a maximum there of 14 because that's how many that holds. As you can see, it's going to cost me 4,200 and a delivery fee, but we'll buy them. They now appear over here. We've got all sorts of names. Rambo, I like that. So pretty cool. And Rocky, look. Excellent. So we've got 14 grey horses. Ready to have a little rave by the look of it. So I just quickly wanted to show you, because you can tip in for the feed for all the hay and the straw. You can tip in loose, and you can use bales as well. So I just wanted to show you the bales. So we've got some hay. It's only a little bit, it doesn't matter. It's just for this tutorial. So if you grab a hay bale, just kind of dump that down there somewhere, back away from it, that disappears. Happy days. Same with the straw, fingers crossed. What I do think is quite cool as well in FS22 is the bales are all sort of different sizes, whereas all the sort of base game ones in 19 were all the same amount. I think it was 4,000, wasn't it? I've already forgotten some things from. So there you go, you saw the straw fill up inside and the bales disappeared. So I just wanted to show you that. Now for the loose, and I must admit, I have to credit Mr. CDP for this. I think he got told as well by someone else about it. If you grab yourself one of these, which I will show you, they're in vehicles and under animals, just there. These are all feed mixers, so you can make TMR from them. They're supposed to be just for picking up off of the ground, but in this game they will shred bales and turn it into loose, which is very handy. So if we come up here, I've bought a stack of bales. And also one thing I will say, if you haven't got all the right things for any of the animals, the feed, the straw, you can always buy from the shop, so there's no shortage of getting yourself going. As we come along here, so for instance we needed oats. If we scroll along here, we can buy these big bag pallets of oats. So for 1,400 you get 1,000 litres, so you can always buy them, and you can pick them up with pallet forks, or if you pull alongside in a trailer it will load from the floor into the trailer, so you don't have to mess about lifting them up and whatnot. But remember that price, 1,400 for 1,000 litres, because if we go into big bags, the big bags are cheaper. So go to oats, it's only $100, but it's for the same amount, 1,000 litres, it's 1,300. So I bought a load of those and filled that trailer up like that. And then if we go into bales, you've got all your bales here, hay bales, silage bales if you want to make TMR. And that machine we're in now will shred these as well, even though they're wrapped. And then your straw bales. So you're good to go. You don't need to be growing crops straight away. So if we unfold this and then start it up, come towards these straw bales, as you can see, it's ripping into them and coming through like that. So how cool is that? So instead of messing around with bales, I know some people obviously want to be a lot more realistic, but you've got the option there if you want to. Now if we come over to the large barn, I actually said it right this time, I've got barn. Hope that tractor's not in the way. If I spin round, make sure we are tip side right, like so. Hopefully we will get, there we go. So that is how you can do loose. Let's turn that off. So that's all the feeding and watering. Next up, we want to do the riding. So what I'm going to do, actually it doesn't matter which one we grab. Let's grab one of these. No, I want to grab the black one actually, because it shows up the dirt better as we're riding. So if we grab one of these, this black one. Actually, I should have showed you that, apologies. If we come up to it, I'm rushing now. Comes out in the help menu, ride Zeus. So for me it's the square button. Jump on there. Now let's walk towards the gate. So in the help menu at the bottom there it says riding 2%. Let's open that up. He's probably gone over the other side again now. Where's he gone? There he is. Come on fella, we're going for a run. Right, it says riding 4%, so that is going up. But here's the cool thing, another thing I noticed. You can walk, you can trot, and you can canter, and then you can gallop, like so. So we'll go back to walking, and I'm doing that with the L2 and R2 on my PlayStation controller. If you walk, in FS19, it didn't matter what speed you went, it was always you had to ride them for a full 5 real minutes. Even if you were galloping, walking, trotting, cantering, whatever, it was 5 minutes. I've tested this. I haven't tested all of them, but I did the slowest, which is walking, which is what we're doing now. That took me 5 minutes to get up to 100% riding. Now if you watch that riding bar percentage, I'm going to go to gallop now, and you watch how much quicker it goes up. So the faster you go, the quicker that goes up. And again, I tested this gallop and I got to 100% in 1 minute 40 seconds. So that is well over less than half, if that makes sense. That's not very good English, is it? But you know what I mean. It's a lot quicker if you gallop even. I cannot speak today. If you gallop, it's a lot quicker than walking. So as long as you've got a nice sort of open area like this and there's no trains coming, we can just gallop. Now once you get to 100%, you need to return this horse back to its pen. As you can see, if I zoom in a bit, you can see, that's why I picked the black one, because the dirt shows up a lot more. Horse is getting dirtier and dirtier as we ride. So that comes in under the cleanliness. Now if I press go into this menu, if you look at the horse pasture up the top, only Snowy is showing because we've technically taken Zeus out of the pasture. So he has disappeared out of there because we've taken him out. So we're at 100%. Now another thing, if you jump off the horse whilst it's out of its pen, he will stay there, or she, until you come back for them. They even show up on the map like that. Now I thought that'd be quite cool if you could click on that and reset them like you can the vehicles, but you can't. But if you do click on it, it says down the bottom there, ride Zeus, so you can automatically jump back on there. So if you are quite a distance away from the horse, you can do that. But not only that, if we tab through our vehicles, it technically becomes a vehicle, like so. So there you go. Now what I'm going to do is, obviously we took Zeus out of the horse pasture. This is another cool thing. We're going to jump this fence. Oh, smash him into the gate. Sorry buddy. If I jump off now, that says up the top right there, horse Zeus is back in the stable. So we've now moved Zeus from the pasture into here, and he's going to register as being in here. So we click on our animal help menu. Horse barn 2, which we renamed, now has a horse in it, and it is Zeus. How cool is that? Whilst we're on this menu for Zeus, As you can see, his fitness has gone right down from 100% to 0, but the daily riding has gone up to 100%. So how do we get that cleanliness back up? What we need to do, where are you gone? Look how filthy he is. If we walk up to Zeus, watch the help menu. It's a lot easier when they stop. It says clean Zeus and we've got a little brush icon there. Come on buddy, stop. You can do it when they're walking, but I just wanted him to stop so you can, there we go. So if you clean Zeus, he's not going to stop, is he? Keep tapping the button until it's done. There we go. The brush disappears. It no longer says clean Zeus. Now if we go into this menu, cleanliness is back to 100%. So that's pretty cool. Now what will happen with Zeus is, and this does depend on how many days per season you're running, because I'm on 1 day, so technically tomorrow will be September for me. Their value will go up and their fitness will go up. So as you can see, the fitness is 0%, but that will go up. So for instance, if you're playing, I did test actually, I put it on 14-day seasons just out of interest, and as I skipped on to the next day, it went up by 1%. I skipped on another day, it went up by 1%. When I was playing on 1 day seasons, which I am now, which I will show you, it went up to 25%, because it's basically taking an average out of a month, if that makes sense. So basically in 4 months time he will be 100% full fitness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you there and I'm going to skip forward till tomorrow, which will technically be a month because it will be September, and we'll have a look again in a second at Zeus. So we're back, it's September, so technically a month has passed. Zeus is still there. If we look at our menu now, his cleanliness has gone down by 10%, which I guess is pretty sort of self-explanatory, because it's basically saying a month. As you can see, his age has gone up from 0 months to 1 month, so he's 1 month old now. Fitness has gone up to 25%, like I said earlier. And not only that, his price, all these horses have actually gone up. So his price was 120, all of the horses, when we first bought them. That's not what we paid for them, because obviously when you buy them, their value goes down anyway on all of the animals. But they were valued at 120, he's gone up to 184. All these fellas, which we haven't done anything with, they've gone up as well to 158. But they haven't really been fed properly. And this guy, we haven't ridden him, even though he's got his feed and water. It's gone up to 158 because we didn't ride them. His fitness didn't go up, like so. Now what I just realised is I left Zeus overnight in that barn, and he didn't have any food or straw. So luckily nothing has changed there. So he has gone up okay. His health probably would have been more than 0%, I would imagine. That's probably at 0% because we didn't feed him. So I made a bit of an error there by leaving him in there. I should have put him back in there. Never mind. In terms of the reproduction, if you remember at the very start when we first bought them, it said 10 months. I skipped forward to 13 months and nothing happened. So I also saw that with the roosters when I did the chicken video. If you haven't watched that, please go and check it out, because they had a reproduction of 10 months. I skipped forward, nothing happened with them. Nothing happened with the horses, we didn't get another one. And also, within that 13 months, I carried on riding. I just had one horse when I was testing. Carried on riding daily, skipping through. Their value was going up and up and up, even after 13 months and even after them getting to 100% fitness. Because base game FS19, when you got up to 100% fitness, their value went up to 50,000. So you could earn up to 50,000 with the horses. I know it was different on seasons. I didn't really dabble with seasons on FS19, but obviously it was different in that. So they're not as good earners as in FS19, but with seasons about, I'm guessing that's, you know, to be expected. But I've got my notes here somewhere. In the 13th month, the horse that I was training up, and it went up to 100% and beyond, because technically, like I said, it should only take you 4 months. As long as you look after them, feed them, clean them, ride them to 100%, it should only take you 4 months to get them to 100% fitness. The horse was valued at 2,061 at that point. Like I say, it was still going up even after we got to 100% fitness. Oh, I feel worn out now. So that is horses. I hope I have explained everything. I haven't missed anything. If I have, please let me know. And if I've done something wrong, please let me know, because I'm always messing up. But I really hope you have found it useful. If you have, please give us a thumbs up. And if you've enjoyed the content, then please consider subscribing so you can see some more. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos of mine. I've been Farm Sim Snowy. Stay frosty.